a general like misconception about lesbian sex is that lesbians don't have real sex. Like when I hear men talk about like, oh, what are you guys doing? The same thing you doing, but it's better. Hi, friends. Hello. How are you? Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Carnisha. This is I Have Something to Say, your weekly lesbian agenda meeting where I talk about all things lesbianic, all things chaotic, and a lot of thoughts that I probably should have kept to myself. I know you're thinking, Carnisha, why do you have sunglasses on? Be quiet. Let me tell you. As you can hear, I don't feel good. I'm sick. I went on a girls' trip to Houston last weekend, and when I came back on a plane, the lady next to me, she talked about every 5 seconds. And every time she did that, I put out my hand sanitizer and I said, do, 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 do. And she gonna start looking at me like I'm crazy for using a hand sanitizer every time she coughing. But now look at me. Sick. Yeah. But since I had these shades and I had some matching shades, I said, you know who would be a great companion to have on this week's episode? Y'all remember how my mama was talking about me and how she said that if I was a real lady, I would have been had a Coach bag, and that's why I wouldn't have been talking about it so much. Everybody say hey to Holly. And Holly's gonna sit right here and be a part of this episode. And everybody, make sure you say hi, Holly, in the comments. Don't worry, I'll wait. I said I'll wait. Yeah. But honestly, I can't see. I don't got my contacts in, so I do gotta switch back to the glasses. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you if this is your second, third, fourth time coming back, and this is your first time. I'm so appreciative that you came to spend some time with me. I would love if you like, share, comment, and subscribe on this video. Help push the video out. I'm sick, and I'm still doing this, so the least you could do is like the video. The least you could do is subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't want to yell, but you made me. You made me. Another thing that happened this week, I signed to new management, y'all. I don't know if y'all have seen in my bio, but I am now with the Social Cafe agency. My talent manager, her name is Daisy. Well, I tell you, since the day, like the first conversation that I've had with her, even before I signed with her, like she was so communicative. She was so patient, so understanding, and literally, like it's been my first week. It hasn't even been a full week. And I already feel like I'm positioned in a better space than I ever have been with social media. So I'm so thankful for her. So thankful for her team. Houston. What happened? What happened? Y'all, Houston was a time. Y'all gotta blow my nose, but I didn't bring no tissue out here. Oh my God. Hold on. Y'all, I'm sorry. I had to blow my nose. Yeah, Houston was a time. I really enjoyed myself. It was really nice catching up with the girls and just really having some time with them, because being out here in Hawaii, like it has been truly like rough for me, not being close to people and not having my like support system near me. So not only has this podcast like brought me so much joy, but being able to go back and go see them really like was the icing of the cake for me. But enough of me chit chatting. I know y'all be saying like, dang, I know she got something to say, but like not too much, not too much. So this week, I feel like I have officially had enough. Like the internet has convinced other people that lesbian sex is just this weird this weird fantasy, that we have these rules and this weird ass rule book. And you know what? Today I'm here to debunk them. Okay? So today we're talking about the biggest lesbian myths and my thoughts on them. But before we start, you know we gotta get into this week's drink of the week. I know you already see it. I know you see it. I told y'all I was sick. It's water. It's pure life. People be like, you know what? I used to really hate Dasani water. I think Dasani did something with that water. Cause I had it. I didn't have nothing else. Relax. I had the Dasani water and I said, oh, this kind of fire. But I'm still with a True Life game. But as a backup, I might take a Dasani. I might. Hold on. Y'all, I ain't had much water today. I apologize. But also, I'm just gonna add on a snack since I don't have no drink. If y'all haven't had these Drizzlicious, I've tried now the salted caramel and the French toast bites. I don't know which one I like more, but I think next time I want to do the birthday cake, cause you know I'm the birthday. Is that what the kids say? Whatever. Let's jump into everyone's favorite segment of the week. Lesbian core. Somebody cue the music. Hold on, let me get Holly. All right. You know what? I forgot to tell y'all one more story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get to it. I promise. Just relax. So today I was at work and my favorite coworker, she's not there. She sent me a text. She talked about some. I'm in a Coach store. I just seen this pink bag. Send me a picture of the pink bag. She sent me a picture of the pink bag. She said it's the last one. I said how much is it? She said $2.99. I immediately cashed after 320. Get me the bag. So I got a new bag on the way. Okay, court is now in session. First, guys. I'm sorry, I can't even yell the way I want to. Hold on, let me try one more time. First, guys. Was that better? Probably not, huh? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I think this first one is kind of long, so y'all bear with me. I don't know if it's the first one or the second one. The first one. Case one. Dear Lesbian Court, I come before you today with evidence. Also, I love your podcast because you're willing to talk honestly and you're funny as fuck. I hope I don't piss you off. I already know you about to piss me off based off that sentence. Let's get into it. I'm 26 and currently getting to know a woman I really like. Let's call her Raspberry. Raspberry is crazy, but let's keep going. I met her through our mutual best friend, who has honestly become the sister I've been waiting my whole life to find. Before all of this, Raspberry and I would randomly just text each other and she would show up to my artsy events. A little crush was developing, but I was playing it cool because I wasn't exactly sure what she was feeling. Exhibit B. Our connection actually started because I wrote a poem about her called Savoring the Distance. Raspberry kept asking me to share it, and when I finally did, she realized the poem was inspired by moments from our interactions. Before that, we were just casually texting, but after the poem, everything changed. T? We both realized there were feelings there. The funniest part is that neither of us really knew what the other person was feeling. She later told me she had no idea I liked her because apparently I was very good at hiding it. Meanwhile, I was freaking out because I thought I had already given myself away by asking to pay her. She gave me such a strange look that day, and in my head, I was like, "Oh my effing gosh!" I exposed myself. I definitely asked like a desperate little creep. That's okay, sis. It's okay. I call myself a baby gay, but it's a little complicated. I haven't seriously dated a woman outside of high school, and this feels completely different because I finally get to date the type of woman I'm attracted to. Dark skinned black women. Now I'm in this beautiful but terrifying stage of liking someone and realizing I actually have to let myself be seen. My question is about the space before physical intimacy, the first cuddles, first kisses, and eventually whatever comes next. How do you navigate wanting someone when you're still learning how to be comfortable with your own desire? Oh my God, what a question. Hold on, there's more. I don't know if that, hold on. Okay, she kind of explains how she just had like a rocky relationship with intimacy and how she ended up where she is. Her second question is, how do you learn to trust yourself in an intimacy? How do you stop treating it like a performance you have to get right and start seeing as something two people create together? P.S. I've heard the jokes that nobody wants to date baby gays because we're too much. I promise the wildest thing I'll do is probably write hundreds of poems about someone I adore. Okay, friend, this was so cute. This was so sweet. Before we even get started, I already know you innocent because like you innocent. You get it? Shut up. Shut up. Okay. I feel like these questions are, I don't want to say that they're not needed, but think about if this was a man. Relax. Relax. Everybody relax. But the same way that you want to feel comfortable with your past relationships, even though they may not have been as comfortable, is the same way that you want to walk into this. Um, you're 26. I don't know how old she is. I don't know if you said that. No, you did. Okay. You're 26, and it sounds like you've had sexual experiences before, but maybe just not in this, like, where you really care about the person. But I feel like this is what makes sex like love. This is what really brings that intimacy together because now you have someone that you truly care about, that you just want to share this experience with. And that's so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Um, oh, sorry. um, I feel like because you guys have this connection, I feel like before the intimacy, like how you were asking about the first cuddles, the first kisses, I feel like those things will come when the time comes. And I wish I could tell you, like, oh, this is the perfect time. This is how to play this situation. But I don't think no one can really answer that except for you two. If you're sitting watching a movie, watching Netflix, and you know your arm just happen to like or if your head like you getting a little tired and you hit her with the it's gonna be natural. Like it shouldn't feel forced. If it feels forced, it's gonna feel forced to her. Like I feel like when someone is like doing too much, the other person can sense that. So don't get caught up on, oh, I need to do this now. I need to kiss her now. Let that moment just build up to where it is. When you're looking at her, she's looking at you, you're gonna know that she wants you to kiss her because you want her to kiss you. Amen. I'm telling you, every week I'm getting better at this shit. Every week I'm getting better. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Okay. And then it's just like the hold on, your second question. How do you stop treating it like a performance? It's not. And then sometimes it is. Like, don't be performative to her. More so, I would say be performative with her. Like, you don't want to make her out to be like this grand thing that you're conquering or that you're trying to like get over, or like, does that make sense? But you want to perform with her. Like, you want this experience to be something that you guys do together. You get me? I feel like these things will come at the perfect time, and when that time comes, you will know, friend. Don't feel obligated to rush this because this is your dream kind of woman. Don't feel obligated to do these things or have these. She doesn't know. If she doesn't know that you're a baby gay, no one's gonna know except you. If you go in there feeling confident, just wanting to enjoy an experience with her and pleasing her and her pleasing you, that will go a long way than feeling like I need to do this at a certain time or I need to perform this certain way so that she enjoys it. Learn that together because no two people are the same. Y'all, somebody get me a license. I didn't go to college, but somebody get me a license in therapy. Next case. Okay, case number 2. I'm in my late 30s. I'm a same gender loving woman who also serves in church leadership. I'm not fully out. A handful of people know, but for the most part, I keep that part of my life private because I know there's a real possibility of losing relationships, ministry opportunities, and being publicly humiliated if I were to be open. To cope with that, I created an anonymous online persona where I can simply exist. It's a space where I can engage with LGBTQ plus content, follow creators, comment freely, and express parts of myself that I don't feel yet safe expressing publicly. My hope is that one day I'll be able to live as my whole self without fear. I honestly think I'm moving in that direction, just slowly. Now, for my situation, there's another church leader who I developed a huge crush on. We don't know each other well, but after going back and forth with myself for a long time, I finally worked up the courage to let her know I'd be happy to grab a meal sometime if she was interested. I never got a response. The complicated part is that I have reason to believe she may also be same gender loving, but I have no way of knowing whether that's true, whether she's out, whether she's wrestling with the same fears I am, or whether she's simply not interested in me. I keep wondering if silence from someone in our position automatically means no, or if it could mean this is too risky. What are your thoughts on this? I don't know if you have ever navigated being queer while deeply involved in church, but if so, how did you learn to distinguish between rejection, fear, and someone protecting the life they've built? And how do you know when it's healthy to let someone go versus leaving room for the possibility that they're fighting the same battles I'm fighting? Girl, before I even get into this, I want to say thank you for sharing your story with us because I know there's so many women who are probably in this same exact predicament. And this one I feel like is, I don't know if you're a black woman, but I feel like especially in black culture that this hits home for a lot of people. I personally, you asked if I have experienced this. I have not. I never felt compelled to not hide, but maybe like not be able to tell people how I felt about who I cared for. I've never had that experience. So I'm so sorry that you feel like you can't be yourself. You can't live this online persona as you. I couldn't imagine doing that. And especially like you said, you're in your late 30s. I first hope, pray, manifest for you that you said you're moving in that direction. I hope that you get there soon, because I think whether this relationship, this crush becomes something fruitful or not, I feel like a lot of what this like backstory is and why it's not really maybe succeeding yet is because you have all these doubts in your head about yourself. You know, like even same gender loving, when I was like reading it, I was like, same gender loving, like you mean lesbian or you mean gay. But it's like maybe you're not even comfortable with that PCI. And I don't want to speak for you. I don't want to say that you're not comfortable. Or maybe that's just the terminology that you use. But like no one can create that space for you until you allow yourself to create that space for yourself. Like you can't expect church people or the ministry or your friends, your family, you can't expect those people to accept you when you really haven't accepted yourself. You have this online persona of this person that you want to be, but you're so afraid of everyone else. You haven't even given the people opportunity to tell you like, hey, I support you. Hey, I don't support you. I I want to say it's 2026. I would like to say that the world has progressed to where we wouldn't be this naive, but I do understand being in your late 30s. I'm assuming being in a black church that this is probably not the case and that there are people who may decide to leave your life. But if this is truly the life that you want to live, if they want to leave that, whether they leave that life today or whether they leave it 5 years from now when you're finally ready to come out, they gonna leave regardless, sis. But you know who always gonna be here? Us. Us, the people that care for you, the people that love you, regardless, are always going to be there for you. I would love to like help you, tell you that it's gonna be okay. I can't say that because everyone's situation is different, and if you really feel like you're gonna be publicly humiliated, like I would hate that for you. So do of course whatever you feel most comfortable with, but I think before you can even let yourself dive into this other woman, I think you need to dive into like yourself about maybe coming out first, because even if you and this woman decide to have this same gender loving experience, you're never going to feel, I'm going to say, I would assume you would never feel completely fulfilled with sharing that part of yourselves only in private, having this persona only in private. Like I couldn't imagine being gay only half the time. I couldn't imagine not being able to look at the girls because I'm scared that people gonna say I'm humiliating. Huh? Have you seen the baddies out in the world? And I can't look at them? I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. And I hate that this is your reality. Holly hates that this is your reality. And I want you to feel comfortable in your skin before you try to maybe tackle this next obstacle, because I feel like there's a lot of steps that maybe you have to accept about yourself before you can get here. But you innocent, oh my good sis. You really innocent. I think it's just gonna be time. Y'all, I'm just saying, I feel like every week I be eating with these cases. I'm I'm a lawyer. Oh my god, I didn't even tell y'all what lesbian court was. Y'all, I'm sick. Hold on. If you were new here and you didn't know what lesbian court is, be quiet. Let me tell you. Even though you probably already know now, lesbian court is a segment where I ask you guys for submissions, advice, questions, situationships that you can submit to me on my Instagram. If you don't already follow me on my Instagram, what are you doing? Anywho, you submit them, I bring them to the court case because I'm the judge, I'm the prosecutioner, I am the executioner, and I'm the jury. And then I give you my verdict like I just did. Court's out of session. Okay, now on to the main topic. I'm going to be debunking some of what I think are lesbian myths. Some within like the femme community. Well, okay, I'm gonna say from a femme's perspective to a stud's perspective. Fuck, hold on. Hold on. From a femme's perspective to a stud's perspective versus just like the lesbian community as a whole. You get me? All right. One, I feel like this is just a general like misconception about lesbian sex is that lesbians don't have real sex. Like when I hear men talk about like, oh, what are you guys doing? The same thing you doing, but it's better. And I feel like sex is not defined by one specific act. It's not, for me at least, it's not defined by penetration or like there's so many nuances to what sex can look like. There's so many, you know what? I think we're gonna have to do an episode on kinks. There's so many like different levels to where people feel comfortable at, to where you're not gonna tell me that I'm not having sex because if you see how somebody could bend me over or how I could bend somebody over, and you gonna tell me that's not real sex because it's with another woman, you don't even know where the clit is. Next myth: someone has to be the man. This is probably one of my like most frustrating questions. And you know what? I have a question for y'all. How do you feel about the term daddy? I actually had this conversation today. I feel like daddy doesn't have to mean father, doesn't have to mean man, the same way that your pronouns like it's it's like a spectrum. Like I just have this daddy energy. I have this masculine energy. Not that I have this man father energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's this big spectrum of things that like people like to be called princess. Obviously you ain't no motherfucking princess of Geneva, ho. But you want to be called princess because it's like the spectrum of like where you are. You want to be this real feminine, dainty, petite little thing, and I get that. But sometimes I want to be the big boss head of the household daddy. And it's not saying that I want to be the man. I just want to like protrude that kind of like that this me type shit. Like, and I feel like people kind of confuse gender expression with relationship roles. Like, it doesn't have to be so black and white that because I'm having sex with another woman, that one of us has to be the man. Sometimes I don't even want no man in it, like no masculine energy. Sometimes I want it to be real feminine, real dainty, real loving, real like, but then sometimes, like I said, I want to get big daddy, or I want to like get big daddy. If two men are dating, like, why are we working overtime to hire a man? We don't need it. We don't want it. Next myth. Now this I feel like this might be for our community. Studs are always on top. I don't know who came up with this narrative, or I don't. I feel like a lot of, not a lot. Let me rephrase. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me find it. It took you that long to find it? Yes. I feel like someone's appearance doesn't tell you how they like to be pleased. Amen. I feel like some of the masculine women that I know or have had conversations with, they say like, "Oh, I haven't met a femme who's ever like maybe strapped me or who's ever penetrated me or who's ever topped me." And I feel like that's so like I feel like I hear it a lot more than the latter. And I don't know where this narrative came from. I was talking about this last week. I don't know if it's like a lot of these women are DL straight and are just doing things for the plot. Like, oh, this woman is beautiful, but I don't want to do anything to her. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like this is my opinion. This is my opinion. But I feel like women who truly love women want to be able to please and receive pleasure. Like the same way that I want you to make me feel good, I also want to make you feel good. And even if I'm on top, doesn't mean that I need to be the dominant or the top. Did that make sense? I feel like our community is gonna get that, but the other folks not. You get me? Next myth. Oh, this one is really gonna like stick with me. Bims are always submissive. I don't know who started this rumor. I don't know who gave y'all that energy. Like, talk about confidence versus aesthetics. There are a lot of masculine presenting women that I feel like wants to be put in this submissive space or wants to take on less of this dominant role, but maybe aren't given the chance or maybe don't know how to lean into that because there's this myth that femmes are always submissive. I feel like definitely conversations need to be had because one thing for sure, two things for certain is that I'm not gonna be getting bent over 25/8. Somebody else is gonna have to be doing the bit. Like, I don't know. I for me and what I like, I cannot always be submissive. But I think there is definitely a spectrum. Again, there are some maybe masculine presenting women that don't want to be submissive at all. But I think more so if maybe given the opportunity or if it wasn't this myth or there wasn't this stigma behind it, there would be more, maybe at least more chance to figure it out or have the space and the opportunity to try it before you're like, nah, that's not really me. And then if that's the case, I feel like that's different than the femmes are always submissive. Right. Myth number 5. Every lesbian owns a strap. You know, for the longest time, I felt like all lesbians should own a strap. Amen. If you need a new toy, go to wetforher.com. Use my code wetforcarney, should get 10% off. You welcome. You welcome. But every couple, of course, has different preferences. There isn't this the one universal experience for everyone. So I do understand that. I realize that I have a couple of friends that don't like to use strap at all. And I'm not saying that I want to use strap every single time, but to never use strap at all, sometimes you just want to get filled. sometimes, sometimes I just want to add a little something extra. Next myth. This one is back to just like general myth. Lesbian sex is easy because women understand women. And for the most part, I would like to say that I feel like this is kind of true, but communication still matters. People aren't mind readers. Whatever one person likes, the next person may not like. So I do think we have a leg up on the men folk because they don't really be knowing like what is what. But it's not just easy because we're both women. You know, that was a quick way. Okay, and my last one is scissoring is all lesbians do. For the longest time, I could not scissor. Girl, my thighs is big. This booty is fat. The stomach got a little bit of chub to it. So I can't just get up in there and hop in there like that and then we start to, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it just don't go like that. We gotta get the angles. You gotta get the trajectory and how you mesh in there real precise. Once you get it, it's perfect. But this conception that all we're doing is scissoring or that scissoring is a myth, crazy to me. Because once you get them things lined up, y'all know. Somebody put a peach emoji. Well, not a peach emoji. Let me think of something else. Someone put the raindrop emojis. If y'all get what I'm saying. All right, y'all. For today's therapy corner, I'm not gonna be pulling any cards. I just have some, just like really a question that I was thinking about as I was like kind of drafting this episode is why do we feel embarrassed talking about intimacy? I feel like I see a lot of comments in my videos like how do you feel so confident talking about what you're talking about on the internet, or how are you just able to like freely talk? I feel like if we would talk about it more, it wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's this big thing. Like I feel like the more that we talk about it, the easier it becomes. There wouldn't be like, I don't know. I feel like there's just so many nuances and so many positives that can come from talking about intimacy more. Like all these negative stigmas about, their first time or um, case number one. Like there's just so much that can be like this shame that people get from talking about talking about intimacy and like maybe even sharing what you like. I know sometimes that I get a little shy to like say like, oh, maybe I kind of like this kinky thing because I don't want you to think that I'm like this horrible person or I'm like this disgusting person. But if it was talked about more, maybe I would feel better to just like say what I want and what I want to, ask for. And then I feel like a lot of it is a learning piece that I feel like maybe this is just like, I don't know. I feel like I see like a misconception with like men, like um just like learning about, oh, like a girl is loose. Obviously that's not how that works. This is a muscle. When she gets relaxed, she opens up. When she's not relaxed, she tightens back up. But because some people don't have this learning experience, they don't know this, they're just going off of what they hear. You can't even talk about intimacy with people who are not educated. And I feel like the more conversations we have, the more educated people will be. You get me? And the last thing is really, for me, trusting the person that I'm with. I know that I have some things that I probably will never share on the internet, that I probably will never let y'all know. But the one person that I would is my partner, because if I'm having intimacy with somebody, I want to be able to truly share the things that I want to experience with that person and give them a space to where they want to do the same. I don't know, but like, tell me why you think there's so much like embarrassment around intimacy. I would love to know. I feel like the healthiest relationships aren't ones who where people magically know everything. It's like just you're feeling safe enough to ask questions, to just really do some digging together. And I feel like that's the beautiful part of experiencing intimacy with somebody. But the biggest takeaway today is that lesbians aren't all the same. Lesbian sex is an experience, it's a beautiful time. And if you haven't had it, I'm so sorry. There isn't one way to date, there isn't one way to communicate, there isn't one way to have sex. Every couple gets to decide what works for them. I would love to hear the myth that you have, if you agree with my myths that I said. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Of course, please, if you enjoyed the video, please give this video a like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, comment, share the video. Continue to submit some lesbian court cases, and make sure you follow me everywhere. My ads are all at Carnisha. And as always, I just had a little bit of something to say, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.